Storm force winds are occurring in Darwin right now. It's resulted in trees being ripped out of their roots, and there is reports of some structural damage occurring to some homes around the area. Storm force winds, those are winds sustained 89 to 100 kilometers an hour. That's what's happening right now in Darwin. Now, sustained winds, that's the 10-minute average of the winds. Gusts have now reached 122 kilometers an hour, and that was recorded a little bit earlier at Darwin Harbor. We're seeing gusts up in over 110 kilometers an hour as well for parts of the airport. Basically, gale force to storm force winds happening right now in Darwin, and we're seeing a lot of this sort of imagery, which is trees down. And let's take a look at some of the current conditions in the area, because we have the satellite imagery which shows that it's well and truly moved over Darwin. The eye of Tropical Cyclone Marcus is currently moving over the Darwin area, and it is a Category 2 system. A new warning is out right now. It was just released about half an hour ago, and you notice how Tropical Cyclone Marcus is now moving over Darwin. The strongest winds with the tropical cyclone are around the eye wall, and right now we're probably going to be seeing destructive winds developing. So those winds could increase even further, where we could start to see gusts up to 130 kilometers an hour for some parts of Darwin. That is enough to cause some structural damage and send some debris airborne as well. Heavy rainfall rates are racking up throughout this region as well, between the Cox Peninsula and also Gun Point is where we're seeing those destructive winds developing, and gale force to storm force winds are already happening there right now. Now, we do have a bit of an update to the tropical cyclone warning. It no longer extends across the Coburg Peninsula, so that region has been canceled, but the Tiwi Islands still in a tropical cyclone warning, and you notice Darwin right down to Wadair still in a tropical cyclone warning. So the main point is eastern parts of the Van Diemen Gulf have been canceled for the tropical cyclone warning. You might get some showers, some storms, and some gusty winds, but you're no longer expected to feel gale force winds at the least. Darwin has the potential to see destructive winds. We're pretty much seeing them for some places already, but they could develop and become fairly widespread across the area, given that this is a Category 2 tropical cyclone making a direct hit on Darwin. That is not happened in quite some time there, so it's very important that you don't go outside, because when the eye wall passes over you, it will start to calm down a bit because you're in the eye of the tropical cyclone, and it's deceiving. You might think the storm's over, you might want to go outside, but it's definitely something you don't want to do, because the eye isn't very big at all, so the weather will then pick up very, very soon after that. Within about half an hour to 45 minutes, it'll pick up yet again. All right, the forecast shows it's going to continue to move southwesterly across Darwin, out into the harbor, and then Beagle Bay into the Timor Sea over the next 12 hours. Darwin, the weather is picking up for you right now. It's still yet to reach its peak intensity, which will probably be within the next 2 hours or so, and then conditions will gradually ease, but it'll still be very windy, and with gale force winds in gusts in excess of 90 kilometers an hour, and also heavy rainfall rates continuing into this afternoon and for parts of the evening as well. Now, further to the southeast, something that we're monitoring today, and something I need to bring up, is the fire weather. There's already been a watch and act issued in South Australia today, but we are keeping an eye on the fire danger, because we have total fire bans in effect across much of western Victoria and central Victoria and southeastern South Australia. And we also have severe weather warnings in effect for southern Victoria, including places like Melbourne, Geelong, right across the Otways region into Warrnambool region and parts of the southern Gippsland. That's because tomorrow we're going to be seeing these winds increasing ahead of the cold front. So tonight, gusty winds in southern Victoria, potentially in excess of 100 kilometer an hour gusts. And Tasmania also having a severe weather warning for the entire state, with damaging winds developing tonight and extending until tomorrow. For assistance in storm damage, contact the state emergency services. The number is 132-500.